Who's playing in the Super Bowl?
Yep. So we've got Cincinnati Bengals and the LA Rams playing the Super Bowl this coming week.
Mm-hmm. How'd they get there?
How did they get there?
Who'd they go through?
They won a lot of games.
Good chat, boys.
They beat the Bengals. Beat the Chiefs.
Bengals beat the Chiefs. Yeah, huge.
And Rams beat the 49ers. Obviously, big divisional rivals there. I've spoken at length at my disdain of the 49ers but as a Green Bay Packers fan. They always just do nothing, and then the bloody playoffs.
They just beat the Packers.
It's nothing.
That's it. Yeah. They've got one game that they need to win during the year, and that's it during the playoffs.
And then they'd win multiple every playoffs. They go in and they're 10-6 or 9-7 or whatever it works out with the stupid 17-game season.
They're just like, we're the Packers. How do we get to them? Oh, we've done our job. Let's go home.
So I'm glad the Rams beat the 49ers.
Yeah. You do have to commend them though. Like last couple of seasons during the regular season, decimated by injuries.
Yeah,
which I guess means that all of their players are healthy for playoffs.
It's tactical injuries. Is that what you're going with? Well, they lost their top 3 running backs in the first 2 weeks of the season, didn't they?
Yeah. And still managed to...
They found Elijah Mitchell as well, which helps.
Who had him on their draft board?
Debo Samuel.
And Debo Samuel, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Their best wide receiver goes, hey, I can be an elite running back too. But anyway,
where you need me, coach.
The Rams got over, and the Bengals, how about that win against the Chiefs? Down 21-3, were they not? 21-3. It's usually the Chiefs do the opposite of this. They start really slow and then they hunt teams down. Yeah, at halftime you're just thinking, oh, well, congrats, Patty Mahomes and co. You're going to the Super Bowl. Probably deserve to be there, I guess, based on talent. But they had, a bit of a choky lala at Arrowhead. And the Bengals, after not winning a playoff game for nearly 30 years, go bang, 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 let's go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yeah.
On a run, on a heater. So that's probably the impressive thing. So they come into what ends up being home turf advantage for the Rams, though they're the away team in the Super Bowl.
How's that work?
Yeah.
It alternates between AFC and NFC, so they're the away team for this year.
Still makes more sense than most COVID rules.
Yeah. What do you boys think about these two squads going head to head? Where do you think this kind of ends up?
It's hard. It's hard. Let's start with the matchups. There's two big matchups here, I think, and they're the matchups that any idiot could kind of lay out. The offense and defense of both sides going up against each other. Let's start with the Bengals offense going up against the Rams defense. This Bengals offensive line has been notoriously bad throughout the year. They passed on Penei Sewell in the draft. Kind of worked out all right, I guess. Jamar Chase winning Rookie of the Year. But can they stop the likes of Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller and co. And the Rams secondary, you talk about coverage sacks. They got an elite secondary too.
Yeah.
Every week we go in and we think, this Bengals offense, they're pretty high powered, expect to see a lot of points, yada yada yada. But against this Rams defense, can we see Joey Burr going out there and doing his thing? Thoughts?
It'll be hard.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard.
Yeah,
very hard.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned the matchups, like the two best defenders through the playoffs being Aaron Donald and Von Miller, going up against your offensive line that has been...
leaky.
Yeah, turnstile, essentially.
Yeah. Burrow out there running for his life, still getting shit done.
I think offensively, the teams are kind of comparable. They both have similar kind of weapons. Offensive line, very different. I think Whitworth kind of adds a little dimension to, and I believe he's playing. He struggled with injuries over the last couple of games.
He's 40.
Yeah, of course.
What about the head on Whitworth compared to the head of Tom Brady?
Yeah. And Walter Payton, Man of the Year as well. So shout out for that.
Doing good stuff in the community.
Yes. So
playing against his old team of 10 years, 11 years, I think he was there. Maybe longer.
So my big concern is probably more on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. Because we know the Rams have talent everywhere.
Yep.
Whereas
your concern is with the Bengals defense.
Defense, yes.
I agree. Let's talk about that. But their secondary has been really, really good. Jesse Bates, Von Bell.
Who's their safety that's coming on? He's going in the free agents. Is it Herbert or something like that? One of their safeties has been doing excellent for them. But again,
Bates, Bell.
I'm not sure. I can't.
I'll bring that up.
Doesn't matter. Their secondary, though, has been pretty good.
Classic Sean story.
Yeah.
You know that guy in that movie?
He's a guy.
Here's a guy.
Eli Apple, though, he's been good, but he's not like he's not a Jalen Ramsey.
No one's Jalen Ramsey.
True. But he has in like an elite top 10 kind of cornerback. He's a pretty good, really serviceable quarterback, but he's not a guy that you're going to be really scared of. You will take chances and go after him. And I don't know, their front seven just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, it's sort of Hendrickson's
been good for them.
He's been a really good pickup coming over from the Saints. But yeah, the rest of that front seven, you think of the old Bengals front seven, when they had Perfect, that was like a mean, with Geno Atkins in the middle, a mean front seven, probably their strong suit.
Yeah, and but then they couldn't cover anyone. So
and now it's kind of the opposite, isn't it? That front seven is kind of getting carried by a pretty reasonable secondary.
So my problem being is like if you do the simple matchup math, you've got the Rams should be able to score points on the Bengals. The Bengals will be able to score points, but probably won't have as many opportunities because of that defense. So they're going to have to chase a lot. So, to me, I don't think it's a huge blowout like a 42-15. So, no, that makes no sense. 16.
15. I'm going for the extra two.
Yeah. Like a teen score where
miss an extra point and 2 field goals.
But like a 30-point lead, essentially, by the end of it. I don't think you're going to get that kind of game, but a 34-21 kind of scoreline, I can see that happening. I think Rams home as well. Though it's not a home game, it is a home game. Probably adds just enough to them. I think the Rams will get this.
Interesting.
But I think the Bengals probably play Chiefs again next year in the championship game, and may play in another Super Bowl. They just need to add offensive line and defensive talent. They're there.
All their weapons are so young.
Exactly.
Burrow's second year.
Yeah.
Chase it's not like you're going to blow that team up. It's not going to be
Nixon's only, fourth year. The Bengals, you'd imagine if they can keep that core together, will be good for a long time. Whereas you feel like the Rams, this is their chance. They went all chips in.
Oh, they're all in.
All in. They've got some older dudes. Von Miller's not getting any younger. Matt Stafford's not getting any younger.
Yeah, well, Von's only on essentially a loan deal. He's on the 1 year and he's free.
Even Aaron Donald, as elite as he is, he's no spring chicken. So you think the Rams, it's kind of do or die now. I tend to agree. You'd think that the Rams have the advantage when you do the matchups. What about who are we rooting for here, boys? Who do we want to win? Have you got a horse in the race, or do you just want to see a good game of football?
Probably the lot. It's the answer to that question because I wouldn't mind seeing Von win another one.
Yeah, big Broncos fan here.
Yes, Stafford getting his first as well. Yeah, in there. But then
after all those years in Detroit.
But you can't hate the Bengals as well. They're not like the Patriots at all.
And that's what makes this Super Bowl so fun, because there's been a team that's pretty unanimously hated in a lot of the Super Bowl. You talk about the Patriots outside of the northeast of the United States, pretty well hated throughout the Brady Belichick era. Then the Chiefs, more recently, pretty well hated. There's. And neither of them massive franchises, like Dallas is always hated by anyone that's not a Dallas fan. I just spoke about my disdain of the 49ers.
Well, the Rams...
Neither of these teams are really...
The Rams are what?
It's like they're both good blokes,
Yeah, the Rams are third year in LA now.
For my fourth year back in...
Fourth, maybe?
Yeah.
Around there. So
there's a young... There. God forgot that the Rams moved to St. Louis.
I got to bring...
Homer, he said, does Los Angeles still have a set team? He said, no, they moved to St. Louis.
Yeah.
It escaped God's memory.
Yeah. Having said that, Simpsons reference, they did have the Bengals beating the Rams 34-31 in one episode that I think played out a Super Bowl. So
you're joking.
No, I'm not.
The Rams and the Bengals.
Yes.
So they predicted Trump. They predicted a bunch of shit.
So whether that's a Super Bowl prediction or not, they
had the Rams and the Bengals.
Yeah.
You're joking.
Yeah. That's been floating around on the socials this week. I have seen that.
The older I get, the more that I don't discredit the simulation theory. It's like it's all been done before. Like this podcast. It's like code, simulate, shit podcast. And it's here. We're living it out in real time.
Let's wrap it up and summarize. So I'm leaning more towards Rams, and I think probably by a 2-touchdown lead is what I'm thinking.
Really? So you got Rams minus line.
Yeah.
The
And
line won't be 2 touchdowns.
No. So and probably overs, like a 34-21 or
34-31 at the
21. Yeah. So like the 2-touchdown lead in there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. What about you, lads?
I'm going to go the Bengals.
Bengals.
I'm just going to go. Yeah. They just keep going. Cincinnati gets absolutely destroyed on on Sunday night. I think the momentum. Look, it's hard to justify why. You know, as we've just been through, you'd say that the Rams have got the advantage on both sides of the ball, but it's a game of football. It's a game of football. Anyone can win it. You know, Joey Burrow coming off the ACL, being the comeback player of the year. You know, we spoke about them passing on Penei Sewell to get his best mate. You know, like absolute mates.
Yep. Yeah, worked out for him.
Yeah, I'm going to the Bengals. Look, no real confidence. Just I kind of like the story a touch more than the Rams. But like we spoke about, there's no villains in this one. There's no Batmans and Jokers. There's no Lex Luthors and Supermans.
Not at all.
That's coming from a guy with very limited knowledge in that kind of comic world. So yeah, you'd be happy that I managed to get those two references.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll go the Bengals. Not really on any kind of intellectual level, just on a gut feeling.
Yeah.
Bengals.
Yep.
Bengals by one. By one.
Yeah.
Miss extra point.
Well, all the other ones have been decided by field goals. So.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for. As a neutral, I don't have a dog in this fight.
McPherson, like he's
Unlike Michael Vick.
Yes.
I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm going to go the Bengals. I just want to see a good game.
Yeah. Max, who you're picking?
Yeah, this is a hard one. Again, more so from the point of view of the storylines. Like you'd like to see Stafford get his first. You'd like to see Bond get another one.
OBJ. We haven't even really mentioned OBJ. You know, resurgence after everyone saying he's trash, he's washed up, this and that.
How many games did he play for him?
8
for the Rams.
Mid-season.
And I think he's had 8 touchdowns or something as well. Like he's just been an absolute weapon in the red zone.
Yeah,
it's vintage OBJ. Like that's a cool story. We talk about Eric Weddle, you know, being in retirement for a few years and coming out. We haven't even mentioned the fucking offensive player of the year, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
You know, who had him as a top 20 receiver going into the end.
True.
No fantasy draft boards did.
Nope.
I'll tell you that much. Cam Akers, you know, like we talk about all these likeable stories in the Bengals. What about all these likeable stories for the Rams? Cam Akers, he ruptured his Achilles in the preseason, and he's coming back and he's looking faster and shiftier than ever.
Oh yeah, he's got definitely a lot of health in his legs. So Monks,
maybe I change my tip. No, just for the sake of being interesting, because I feel like I know where you're going to go.
Where you going?
I'll go the Bengals.
I'd like to see the Rams come up, but Lunar New Year, Year of Tiger, going Bengals.
Bengals. Right, the lone one on the end of the table. All right.
I like it. You're the Tiger. The Tiger King, Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Monks.
Free the Tiger King. Joey Exotic.
Monks, what are the odds?
The odds don't reflect the Chinese calendar.
No, has not. So Peps and I have gone against common sense. Bengals are.
I've been doing it my whole life. Do a podcast, they said.
We just got $8.
That will go a long way in today's economy. We're not living in Detroit. Housing prices going strong here. Apologies to any of our listeners in Detroit. I'm going to go on a strong whim that we don't have any Detroit at present.
Go for it, Monkey.
Yeah, Bengals are underdogs, $2.64. The Rams are favourites, $1.49. We have a line of 4, and total match points over unders is 48.5.
I think we'll go over 50. So
yeah, I like the overs there.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason why not.
As a resident unique better on the table, Rickon has asked, what prop bets or any unique bets are you going to put on in the Super Bowl?
Give me the screen. I like overs. I like the overs. I think 48. You know, even this is coming a few episodes after saying never bet on the fucking overs. But weather's not going to be an option. Okay.
No.
So that's something that we always thinking about. Oh, you know, and it fucks us always. Like, excuse my French, but you know, you go to Buffalo and It's it's snowing. It's minus 10 in real terminology.
Yeah.
And you go pump the unders. It's going to be unders. And then Josh Allen goes out and they score 47 points. Like,
Yeah.
So weather
it clears up and then the wind stops and you're just like,
So weather's not an issue here.
Nope.
The issue for betting the overs, like we spoke about, is this Rams defense. This Rams defense could go out and hold this red hot Bengals offense to 10 points, 17 points. That's not unreasonable. No. That is not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. Having said that, I feel like 48's a reasonable.
I think so as well.
Can you get what's the overs on passing yards for both quarterbacks? Yeah. I really quite like that. Anything around sort of about 250, 260, I'd take.
Yeah, and then I was thinking maybe receiving yards for Cooper and Chase, depending what it looks like, and
the problem with Cooper,
and yards for Akers. That's probably my other.
Oh, yep. I like that. We spoke about Cincinnati's front seven maybe not being super strong.
If it's reasonable,
do they try and pump the rock? A little bit. We've seen the Rams,
especially if they get a lead, as we're thinking they're probably going to lead a lot of this game, and the Bengals will chase. Mate, it's just whether they can catch and
two boys just got on the Tiger King here. We're going so exotic straight out of the gates. But yeah, and I am a punting enthusiast. Let's put it lightly. But I haven't really got my bets all lined up just yet. But yeah, off the top of the dome, overs on the game and overs passing yards. Mm-hmm. What have we got? 270s?
Yeah. Yep. No, 280. So Joe Burrow's just under 280 at 278.5.
Yeah.
Stafford is 283.5.
Yeah, it's a bit.
If you like the Bengals and you think you're going to win, Joe Burrow's got to go over that to win that
game. I agree.
Yeah. I agree. What else have we got?
Cam Akers rushing yards?
Yes, Cam Akers rushing yards. We have got overs of 64.5.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind
that at all.
Yeah.
Cammy Akers. Yeah.
Jamar Chase receiving yards, 78.5.
Just pump it out.
Just pump the overs. What about this?
He will have Ramsey on him.
True,
again, we're probably expecting Joe Burrow to throw this ball 50 times.
Well, then what have we got? Can we get T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd?
Higgins.
Yeah,
Sorry, yes.
If you can chase that up. We've got months working overtime here. Yes. Yeah, and we probably haven't spoken about that matchup. We mentioned it. No. We haven't spoken enough about it. This is let's call it the number one cornerback in the NFL. I don't think there's any arguments there. Yep. And Jamar Chase, the rookie of the year.
Yep.
Top 5 receiver in the NFL. Definitely
debatable, but offensive rookie of the year. So
definitely top 10. Definitely top 10.
He's elite talent.
That matchup, I cannot wait. Wait. As a former wide receiver myself, and it's two former defensive backs. You know who I want to win. Jalen Ramsey saying he used to slide into the opposing receivers DM. No, not his DMs. His Mrs. DMs is what he was saying. That was his head noise kind of tactic. Fuck off, Jalen. Let me go around. I'll go around a post against Jalen Ramsey, and you can see him jam me at the line and put me on my ass probably, and have a pick six. Anyways, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I can't wait for that matchup. And the other thing is, will Ramsey just play to the one side, or does he follow Chase?
Well, the chat all week has been that he wants to follow the best player, but scheme-wise, they might change it out. Whether they then say you got Waddle back there, do they kind of slide him and try to double him, and then does that free up Higgins and Boyd? They've got options. So
Monks should have some numbers there for us. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
So T. Higgins overs is 71.5. Tyler Boyd 42.5.
Still a bit, isn't it? Still a bit.
Yeah. I think
you know what, Rickon? Maybe we can just enjoy the game without having to be degenerate gamblers and just enjoy it like we did when we were children.
Everything. Just put it all in a massive multi $10 and pay out $1 million. That's
right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. What I say to myself every weekend before I waste money on gambling.
That's it.
Remember how passionate you were about any sport when you were a child? Didn't involve gambling or alcohol?
Yeah. And to keep on giving into that addiction, Cooper Kupp, we've got overs of 105.
That's a huge line,
That
man.
is huge.
And if anyone can do it, it's Coop. Yeah. It's Coop. What did he put up in the NFC Championship game? 140?
So also to match that, if you do the maths, total receptions for Coop, his overs is 8.5.
Ooh, I don't mind. I'd rather take that because sometimes he can be a bit catch heavy and a bit short on the yardage. So I'd probably take the receptions. OBJ, have you got anything there?
And final one, can you get MVP, Super Bowl MVP? Because if Coop's doing 140 and over 8 receptions, and let's throw a few touchdowns in there, potentially he's MVP chat.
If he catches eight balls for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, fucking...
who's throwing in the ball?
I hate it. Well, they will pick the quarterback, but you never know.
No, yeah.
It might be the moment. He might take a slant and take it 80 yards, and that wins him the game. Give him the MVP. It's like, he's done it all.
Yeah.
What about Aaron Donald MVP against that?
That's why I want to go to MVP, because we haven't talked about defensive players. So give us Beckham, and then we'll OBJ, and then we'll go to MVP honors.
Yeah. So before I touch on Baker.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'm struggling now as well. Beckham, Jamar Chase, his overs unders for receptions was 5.5, matching that 78.
Again, I think I like receptions more than yards there.
Yeah. Yep. And then for Beckham, we have got overs of 63.5 and receptions of 5.5.
I like Beckham's more than I do Cooper's.
Yards or catches?
Both.
What's OBJ anytime touchdown scorer? We're really going hard on the degenerate here now.
This is becoming an epic multi at this point.
Because
hopefully someone's putting
he has been cashing. We spoke about it before. OBJ red zone target. He's been massive for them since joining. I wouldn't mind that if you can get $2.50 maybe, and that is Sean just missing an absolute layup.
Yeah. Just practicing my inner West book there.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah, this season. He's also in the NBA.
We're
sitting in a basement.
3 guys in the basement.
Three boys, 1 basement. Hey, am I right?
This isn't the church. Come on.
Oh, so all right. First studio episode and we're cancelled.
Yep, can't say that.
The worst things we could say. Keep going.
Back on track.
Yeah.
Beckham, anytime touchdown is $2.40.
Oh, yeah. Don't mind.
Cooper Cup first touchdown scorer, is $6.50 if you are interested in that.
Anytime he'd be $1.70 probably.
$1.67 there.
There we go. I'd do this for
Jamar Chase, $2.25 anytime there as well.
What about Big Joey Mixon?
He's $2.10 anytime touchdown.
Interesting.
Bit of value there for the Bengals.
Yeah.
Again, because it depends on how they play that D.
Rickon, if you're online, let us know. Are we speaking a different language when we start talking in this kind of terminology? Because obviously, as fans of the UFC, I imagine the way that they do it is plus 100, plus 200, plus and minus, etc.
You can't convert it like everything.
It does require a little bit of thinking, which obviously we all lack.
Yeah, we know how we are with the maths.
MVP honours. Let's finish with
that. Run us through that.
Now, if we go through to the MVP honours, so reflecting the odds, reflecting Cooper Cups.
Easy.
Cooper Cup lock.
No, his stat line. We've got Matt Stafford as MVP at $2.20 flat.
$2.20.
Yep.
I don't know about that. It's so short.
Is he favourite?
Yep. He's favourite. He is favourite.
So
I would not be leading with him if he wasn't favourite. Behind him, obviously, I assume as the Bengals, if the Bengals get their win, Joe Burrow is at $3.25.
Joey franchise, Joey Shiesty, smoking Joe, the Tiger King. Fuck Carol Baskin.
So he's over Stafford, yeah? Oh, I'm
Stafford's favourite.
Favourite. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
$2.20 is lower than $3.25.
Yeah, go on.
Reinforcing that maths there.
I thought it was a dead body until he said yard clippings. You got to listen.
We have Cooper Cup sitting in at third at $6.
Okay. Now I understand. It's all good.
And then Wow. Had to stop myself there. Aaron Donald at $13. First defensive player there. So
you blokes have been listening to too much Joe Biden. Forgot how to talk, man.
So what was Donald at? $13.
$13, yeah.
Vaccinated 15 billion Americans.
So $13. That's plus 1,300.
Yeah, I think. That's how it works.
Yeah, I think it's.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, Rickon just was confirming that, yes, they do it as the plus minus.
Okay. Well, there we go. We're not that different, are we?
I think Aaron Donald is like sneaky $13.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he can dominate a football game.
Here's one. Can you chase up the last defensive player to win Super Bowl MVP? Did Von Miller do it?
He did, 2015.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, for sure.
potentially is probably going to be the last one. So it was last year. Who won the Super Bowl last year?
Tampa Bay, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Year before that?
Patriots, Rams? Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
it was
no,
Chiefs.
no, no,
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. It was Mahomes.
Chiefs, Mahomes. The year before, Patriots, Rams.
Probably TB again.
This is a really shit exercise. Isn't it? After a few beers.
I'm
we
pretty sure
go.
it was Vaughn. I can't think of anyone post Vaughn that won.
Just
it.
go Super Bowl MVPs. That Seattle Seahawks fellow won it as well that year.
But that's 2013.
That was before. I'm
That's
pretty
2013.
sure. Yeah. You got it there. You
I do have
I
it.
would remember. I knew who that
So-
Edelman, Julian Edelman.
Yeah, Edelman.
Ooh.
Shalom.
And then Foles before him.
Big Dick Nick Foles. And then Von Miller.
Von Miller.
Yeah, there we
So
go.
last
we
defensive
said something
was
that
Von.
was correct.
Yeah.
Malcolm Smith.
Yep, was just before him.
That was a Seahawks fella. And then
A
a
long-
long line of offensive players.
Yep.
Dexter Jackson.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
There
you go.
Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis has won a Super Bowl MVP
Yep.
defensively. But yeah, it is.
Oh well, he's a sneaky for you then. What's Von paying for MVP?
Wow. That'll be some cash.
That's
Yeah, it would be, but
sneaky.
it is. It is.
Put a little tenner on it.
Yeah. If you would,
Put a little Andre Bocelli on it. A tenner.
because I'm assuming it's like 20,
I don't
high
know. Actually,
20s.
don't
I
know
mean-
that much about opera singing to confirm that he's a tenor. He's definitely not a soprano. Woke
the
up
odds?
this morning.
What's
with the
Von
boom
paying?
boom in my
Yeah.
head.
So Sneaky's probably right. He's sitting at $34.
Sneaky
So
34.
a lot better than a few other players out there.
Yeah, put your house on Von Miller. That's the chat out of the Super Bowl. Anyway,
Well, a few sacks, strip sack.
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Anyways, in seriousness, to wrap it all up, awesome Super Bowl coming up. Two teams that no one really hates. Two teams. Well, definitely no one saw the Bengals. The Rams, pretty highly lauded, I suppose, coming into the season. Did
Yeah,
have to
they're
get
talented.
through the Buccaneers and the Packers.
Yep.
And did that fine. Can't wait. Let's go Super Bowl time. And then
Awesome.
the cold 8 months of no football after that.
What are you talking about? Then we start talking about combine and free agency and draft.
Believe.
Sean's fantasy season's just starting.
It starts in July for me. I try to keep it a bit going.
July, your fantasy lasts all year, doesn't it? Shit execution. Thought it was there. Shit execution.